in Chapter 1, we talked about the evolution of NFC technologies. And now in Chapter 2, we're going to talk about two types of technology, the secure element and host card emulation. Okay, so Hervé, we have secure element, SE, and host card emulation. So briefly, can you explain what's the difference between the two?
First, let's start by the secure element. Secure element is, in fact, a combination between software and a dedicated hardware. So meaning that it's relying on a very extremely secure component, so a tamper-resistant component. And second, the secure element is not only, let's say, this combination of software and hardware. There is also an associated infrastructure. So, in fact, that gives the possibility to manage the deployment of an application, the transaction, and also the application lifecycle. For the HE, it's a very different approach because it's a pure software solution option. Then instead of having something that is secure, you are using the open operating system of the device. So one, it's based on software, and second, it's quite let's say open. So at the end, there is no security mechanism in HE, so that's a huge difference. Nevertheless, there is the possibility to secure HE with some mechanism either in the cloud or local, so using, for instance, a secure element, what we call hybrid solution, and we will probably come back on this. A second difference between the two is the maturity of the product, because we have started with SIM and then embedded secure element a long time ago. So it means that we have a standardized ecosystem. We have tested the solution. We have some certification schemes that are already in place. And all of this has still to be done with HCE. So in question of maturity, one is mature, the other one is just starting.
So when HCE came out, a lot of people were very excited about this. Do you think that the benefits of HCE were exaggerated?
Yes and no. So I would say no first, because it's true that HE definitely simplify the development and the deployment of application, but only if you don't require any level of security. So in other words, it's a very good news. You can be independent and launch your application independently from the issuer of secure element, so being an OEM or a mobile network operators. So definitely it's a good news. A little bit exaggerated as soon as you need, let's say, some security mechanism, because you will have to put in place the same infrastructure as what we did with the secure element. So at some point, you will have to face some constraint, you will have to face some cost, and I believe that it could be more complex than what we had with the secure element.
Okay, so in what sense are the two technologies complementary? I mean, are you expecting to see sort of hybrid versions, models?
It's as I said, as it is a good news, we will probably see some, let's say, developers being for bank application or other that will develop NFC application because they have the impression that the blockers have been removed. And then when they will face the issue of putting some security mechanism, then reconsidering the secure element could be, let's say, an approach. And this is why we could have some hybrid approach. So just take an example for the low value payment. Then you can use HE because it's quite simple. But as soon as you will need to be strongly authenticated to download the token, then using a secure element could be appropriate. So this is an example of the hybrid approach.